I just wanted to say that I'm a nerd, and I'm here tonight to stand up for the rights of other nerds. All our lives, we've been laughed at and made to feel inferior. And tonight, those bastards, they trashed our house. Why? Because we're smart? Because we look different? Well, we're not. I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
1984, the world got introduced to a group of students at Adams College. They were freshmen and having a really hard time of it because, well, they're nerds. At every turn, they met harassment and criticism until they finally decided to take it into their own hands. Time had come for the revenge of the nerds.
1984, we got a movie about a group of kids going to college, freshmen, and they just didn't fit in. They were nerds. And this movie took us with them through their freshman year and what they had to go through. And it's a great movie. Part of growing up in the 80s, I was born in 73, so part of being a teenager and growing up in that time is watching this movie. And it's a time when movies were transitioning from the 70s and the very early 80s being all about having sex and showing titties to actually, having a story. This one's kind of in between. They do have sex a few times and they do show some titties, but it's a great movie. It sets it apart from most of the movies of that time. It's a comedy, it's funny, but it really has heart. It could have been one of the last of the funny TNA movies, but it became the first of a good kind of raunchy comedy. I put it in with American Pie just 15 years sooner. So we joined it up in college, and Lewis and Gilbert and Booger and Wormser and Poindexter and Lamar, and they're all going to college. And the Alpha Betas, who are all the jocks and football players, burn their house down. And the answer from the university is to kick the freshmen out of their dorm. I don't know how that works, but they kick them out of their dorm, let the football players live there. And these freshmen are living in the gym, and they find themselves a place to live, a house. They fix it up, and all through this, they're catching hell from the Alpha Betas. They're being put down and just made fun of, and all these different things. But when it comes to the house, they light a sign on fire in the yard, and just different things keep happening to them. They decide to join a fraternity, or actually start a fraternity, Lambda Lambda Lambda, which isn't on Adams College. So they let them in. And Lambda 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 in the movie is a traditionally black fraternity. So they get in, and only one member of them is black, but they get in there. They throw a party to show how, they can be cool guys. And again, the Alpha Betas ruin it. They let a bunch of pigs loose in a party. And so they decide that they're going to go after them. And the only way they can do it is to take control of the Greek Council, who oversees all the fraternity goings on in college. And the only way to do that is to win the Greek games at the homecoming. So being nerds, they find all these different ways to win, nerdy ways or scientific ways or things like that. And along the way, they learn how to stand up for themselves. They learned that they can be better than the Alpha Betas. This is a story of transitioning into life, where in high school you might have been that top guy, but in real life, maybe you're not. maybe the guys that got picked on in high school and made fun of because they were nerdy, they were smart. They get into the business world and the work world, and they're the top guys because they know what they're doing. They work hard, and I think that's what the story's about. And the nerds just finding their place in life, that they can stand up for themselves, that they're worthwhile, that you know. So in the end, they get their moment, and show their worth, and they have so many misadventures along the way that it's a great movie. I recommend it. You know, if I had to grade it, I would give it a B plus for the casting, because most of these people were unknown at the time. Curtis Armstrong, which is Booger. Booger is, he was in Risky Business, and I think after this he was in Better Off Dead, but he's in Risky Business, so he wasn't an unknown, but relatively unknown. So I would give it a B plus for the casting. The script I would give an A. Again, it has heart, and that's what sets it apart from the other movies. And the acting is good. It's better than most. I don't want to say minor movie, but non-blockbuster movies at that time. So it did have some issues. Watching it today, be prepared. There's a few things, like they do a panty raid in the girls' dorm. Harmless enough. But at the same time, they plant cameras so they can go home and watch the girls, get undressed and take showers and things. And it's highly illegal. There's also a scene where one of the nerds, they're wearing a costume at the games. They're wearing costumes. And he's dressed somewhat like an alpha beta, so he pretends to be him to have sex with one of the cheerleaders. Again, it's considered some form of rape because she didn't consent to have sex with him. She thought she was having sex with her boyfriend. And it ends up okay in the movie, but things that just aren't okay in today's world, but it's a movie. It's been around for almost 30 years. And that stuff was funny back then in a movie setting, not in the real world, of course. So just look past it, laugh. Everything's okay. They're only actors. It didn't happen for real. And check it out. Overall, I'm going to give it a solid B. And, that's it. Revenge of the Nerds, 1984. It had 3 more spin-offs after it, but each one got progressively less good. And, the main cast was in that one. Almost the entire main cast was in the second one. Third one kind of and then the fourth one, several of them came back, but it was a made-for-TV movie by that time. So that's the story. Revenge of the Nerds. Check it out. I can't do it.